I don't know what's happening lately, but my Facebook feed is getting inundated with a bunch of people and their recovery programs, I guess. And, I'm not a big fan of the term recovery program. Right now, it's about quarter to 2 in the morning. Uh, I'm getting ready to head up to Syracuse, New York. I've got to leave in about an hour to head to the airport. I got an early flight. Going right into the storm. Hardly any sleep. Well, actually, no sleep since yesterday. But I'm the type of person. If I know I got to get up to catch a flight, I can't sleep. I'm always worried I'm going to sleep through my alarm. So, anyways, I figured I'll do a video now at quarter to 2 in the morning. But when I drank years ago, and when I decided to get sober, I didn't want everybody to know, because I moved to Florida, like that I drank the way I did. It was something that I used to do, but chose not to any longer. And the only people who knew I drank was when I went to AA. I went to the meetings, talked to some people, and then I lived my life. I didn't let my past control my future, or I should say, my past behavior control my future. I realize that's not healthy for me. It may be healthy for you, I'm just saying, but it's not healthy for me. And lately, and I guess it's been going on for a while, all these people now, because we can have podcasts, shows, whatever, want to talk, especially a lot of young kids, about, getting sober. And a lot of them use Chat GPT, you can tell, because they're not that smart. And they want to just regurgitate something that Chat told them about, like statistics. And we need to talk a little bit about trauma, because alcohol wasn't really a problem, it's just a symptom. It's like, yeah, okay, all right, we all been there, we all heard it. And I was in a discussion with somebody a while ago, and I say, no, isn't it funny that before AA or any program came out, I'm not knocking AA, but there were people that drank. There are always people that have been drinking, and there's always been people that stopped drinking. And how they did it, they probably, just stopped, white knuckled it. Maybe some people went to church or whatever and did it through, religion. I'm not saying they did it through religion. If you think about it, when people go to a church, and a lot of times they do an altar call where the priest says, hey, if you don't like the way you're living, you're addicted to drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, whatever, and you want to change your way of life, you want to repent from your sins, because they're sins, and follow Jesus, and stay away from your past, basically. That's it. And that's what most people do that have any sobriety. And, the book that I wrote, Don't Drink or Use No Matter What, and no matter what means no matter what, that's what most people do. They might not want to admit it, but if they have any time in sobriety, there was always going to come a time in somebody's life that the thought of a drink pops up. That's not a big deal. And usually the person says, you know what? Nah, I don't drink, and no matter what, I'm not going to have a drink. No, that's not me anymore. And that's the way, in my opinion, it should be. So many people want to get so dramatic over they quit drinking or they quit drugging. It's a good thing, don't get me wrong. It's a really, really good thing. But there's more to life than just talking about you got sober. And every day you've got to do something to maintain your sobriety, or else. Well, dude, as far as I'm concerned, if you keep running from your drink, or every day you have to do something in order for you to not to pick up a drink or a drug, I hate to tell you this, but the alcohol or the drug still has control over you, just in a different way. If you think about it, you're either going to be running, if you allow one thing to be in your mind all the time, it controls you. Just like in a relationship, right? If you break up with a person and for a while, all you do is think about that person, everything is about getting back with that person or thinking about what that person is doing or trying to figure out what you can do to get back together, it never really turns out too well, does it? Because your mind is overcome. You can't even think straight because you're only focusing on how can I get this person back. It's the same thing, in my opinion, with all these people studying, stuff about people that drank or use drugs and always worried about if they're saying the right thing to somebody. Listen, the only thing you should be worried about is getting on with your life without putting a drink or a drug in you. And if you have to constantly talk about it, then yeah, I believe you should probably go see a professional for help. I'm not talking any of these support groups. Go see a professional because, dude, there is something inside you telling you you just can't let it go. People wear the badge of alcoholic or addict like it's something special. I look at it like, when I drank, I did a lot of bad things. The worst, in my opinion, is I drove drunk all the time. I got one DUI, totaled 2 cars, but I drove drunk all the time. I know many other people that did that. That's nothing to be proud of. The trouble I got into, that's nothing to be proud of. The relationship I've lost because of my drinking, that's nothing to be proud of. But all of a sudden, after I screwed everything up because I chose to drink, and I don't want to hear this bullshit that it's a disease, that's why you drank, that's bullshit. I chose to drink knowing I could get into trouble. And then I did get into trouble. I've got myself to blame. So I don't want to make it sound like, look at me how special I am. I don't drive drunk anymore. Isn't that great? I'm not an asshole to people anymore. Isn't that great? Well, sometimes. But, that's what these people are applauding themselves for. And they think that there's something special about doing the right thing for their life. And they want to have somebody, pat them on the back. I still don't get it. I've been sober 33 years. I'm thankful. But the thing is, I got it. I understood. Joey can't put alcohol in him. And the story. Joey says, okay. Sometimes years ago I wanted to. All I had to do was think about my last drunk. Do I want to go back there? No. So you're not going to drink. Yeah, that's right. Oh, so I didn't pick up a drink today. Can you congratulate me for doing the right thing? Come on, man. Hopefully someday this is all going to turn around because I know it's entertainment for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people are proud of their sobriety, and you should be. I'm not, I don't know if I'm proud of my sobriety. I'm just glad I don't drink. Let's put it that way. I'm glad that I made the decision that I'm done with it. Okay, I got other troubles in my life, but I don't drink. I've got heart disease. I was born with a bad heart. I've got a prosthetic heart valve in me that right now is almost 14 years old. I hope it keeps on going. If it gets worse, I check every 6 months or every year with my doctor. He may say, hey, it's time we got to open you up and throw another valve in there to keep you alive. I said, okay. I don't go around. I got heart disease. I don't know. But I've got heart disease. And I need to talk about it all the time. No, I realize, okay, that's what happened. Other people have it worse. Something came to me when I had to have my heart surgery. I started feeling sorry for myself. I was 52 years old. Oh my God, I got to have heart surgery. And like I said, I knew I had a bad heart. But every time I started complaining that, I got to get ready, I got to go to the hospital in 4 weeks, 3 weeks, the Wounded Warrior commercial would pop up. And I'd see those wounded warriors talking about what they went through and how they're living their life, missing a limb, 2 limbs, 3 limbs. And I say to myself, I got some fucking nerve to bitch that I don't pick up a drink. And which I never did. I never told anybody I got a disease called alcoholism. I would be embarrassed, basically, embarrassed to say that. So you got to put things in perspective. If I'm just going to say, you want to call it a disease, call it a disease. Okay, if it makes you happy, do it. There's cancer out there, there's liver disease, there's, all kinds of diseases. Like, for instance, cancer, people can go and get some help, some treatment, but always in the back of their mind, it might just pop up. And a lot of times it's nothing that they've done wrong. The cancer just came back. So let's take an alcoholic who says, and I hate that term too, alcoholic, but let's take a person who abuses alcohol and keeps telling he's got a disease. Well, if that's your disease, be grateful. Man, all you got to do is not put a drink in you. And you could keep going and going. Someday it's not going to creep up on you. It's not going to, all of a sudden, 10 years down the road, a doctor says, yeah, hey, I'm sorry to tell you, but, oh man, your alcoholism is back. It's not going to happen, of course, unless you pick up a drink. So be thankful and live your fucking life. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then, there's people, I guess now the new thing is, or maybe it's been around a while, but I don't pay too much attention to it, is there's people out there bashing AA like it's their fault. Like it's this big cult or whatever. And I don't know, I just don't get it. So I'm talking too much and rambling, knowing I got to take off pretty soon. So I guess the moral of this whole video is, man, listen, get sober, stay sober, get out and enjoy your fucking life, and stop complaining because you put down a drink, and don't expect everybody to pat you on the back. Think about it yourself. How proud are you with what you did in your past? Because you did it. You made the choice to act that way time and time and time again. And you got a lot of nerve, in my opinion, to expect somebody to think that you are wonderful because you don't act that way anymore. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Well, off to the airport. Till next time, this is Papa Joey saying, don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. Bye-bye.